Haliburton looking. Haliburton driving, pulls up, jump shot. It's good! It's good! With 0.3 of a second.
The arena shook with noise, Thunder fans roaring in a frenzy. Oklahoma City was up 9 points with 3 minutes left in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Historically, that margin is a death sentence. Teams in that exact situation, 0-1-82 since 1971. Game over. But somehow, someway, Tyrese Haliburton didn't just claw his team back from the dead, he rewrote NBA history on the road against the league's top defense, and with the weight of doubt from the entire basketball world pressing down on his back, he rose above it all. But this wasn't just a clutch shot in the finals. This was the end of a long road paved with skepticism, disrespected performances, and one name thrown around too casually before the playoffs began: overrated. Tyrese Haliburton heard it all. He took it in silence, and then, when the world wasn't watching, he exploded. Not with rage, not with words, but with moments. The kind of moments that rewrite careers, silence critics, and define a legacy. Weeks before the playoffs dipped off, a player poll dropped with one question: who's the most overrated player in the NBA? The answer was unanimous in his disrespect: Tyrese Haliburton. He was coming off a 50-win season, led the league in assists, ran the Pacers like a seasoned vet in just his 5th year, and yet the players turned their backs on him. That label stung. Not because it was true, but because it was lazy. Haliburton wasn't the loudest name. He didn't play in a major market. He wasn't dunking on people nightly. But he controlled games like a conductor runs an orchestra. Precision, patience, vision. What those players didn't see was a storm building in Indiana, the kind that had been underestimated all year. A 4 seed with a puncher's chance and a point guard with something to prove.
Great defense by Indiana. They get the ball. He takes his time. He goes. He's not afraid of the moment. He is the moment.
That poll didn't ignite Haliburton. It just confirmed what he already knew. Nobody outside of Indiana truly believed in him. That would change. Indiana drew Milwaukee in the first round. Giannis and the 5th-seeded Bucks were no longer a powerhouse, but they were still dangerous. Analysts predicted a tight series, maybe 6 or 7 games. But Haliburton didn't have time for long battles. He came out surgical. Dropping 26 in the opener, he carved through the defense and made the biggest play of the game: a layup over Giannis in overtime to take the lead with 1.3 seconds left. The Pacers went up 1-0. Then they took the series in 5. Fans called it a fluke. The Bucks were washed. Giannis wasn't healthy. Indiana didn't prove anything. But Haliburton wasn't worried about proving anything to the fans. His game was speaking volumes. The league just wasn't ready to listen yet. Next came the top-seeded Cavaliers. 64 wins, the league's best defense, a team built to punish Indiana's inexperience. GMs around the league scoffed at the idea of a Pacers upset. Not one of them thought Haliburton could lead Indiana past the second round. Game 1, Indiana stunned them. But Game 2 is where Haliburton left his mark. Down 7 with under a minute left, he hit a pair of buckets, then intentionally missed a free throw, grabbed the rebound, stepped back, faded, and drained the shot. Pacers lead, crowd silenced, series flipped. Cleveland fans who had been chanting overrated earlier that night were nowhere to be found. Indiana closed the series in 5. Tyrese heard the noise, and with every dagger he delivered, he reminded the league that their doubts were the fuel. The Knicks had been waiting for this. Indiana beat them in the 2024 playoffs, and New York's fan base refused to believe it was legit. The Mecca was ready. The Pacers, more than ready. Game 1 was a war. MSG was deafening. Indiana was down late, but once again, Haliburton engineered the comeback. Nesmith went off to bring the Pacers within reach, but it was Tyrese who nearly buried the Knicks with a step-back 3, his toe just barely on the line.
FGA switches up. Haliburton on the drive. Gets into the paint. Wild shot. Way off. Rebound. Siakam. And the shot won't go.
Instead of another game winner, it was overtime. And in overtime, he did hit the game winner. Pacers up 1-0 again, on the road, and from there, the Pacers never gave the lead back. The Knicks went home in 6. And Haliburton made it clear this wasn't a fluke. This wasn't last year repeating itself. This was who he was. Back to OKC. Back to that moment. Game 1, down double digits. Haliburton had been quiet most of the night. 2 of 4 shooting in the first half, 3 turnovers. And then, with under 3 minutes to go, the switch flipped. Off-balance shots, confident drives, and with 3 seconds, the dagger. Haliburton pulled up, buried it. The Pacers, once again, stunned the world. That wasn't luck. That was legacy building. While the media slept on Indiana, Haliburton was stacking numbers no one could ignore. 13 of 15 on go-ahead or game-tying shots in the final 2 minutes of regulation. That's 86%. Compare that to league averages and you realize how absurd it is. Effective field goal percentage? Over 100% in those moments. It means he was more reliable than a Shaq dunk in crunch time. If you needed one bucket to tie or win the game, the math said you were better off with Haliburton anywhere on the floor than Shaq 2 feet from the rim. Those aren't hot takes. That's the data. That's the truth. And nobody was talking about it. The reason nobody knew? Indiana had just 14 nationally televised games all year, 16th most in the league. The Lakers had 39, Warriors had 36, even OKC had 25. Haliburton was buried on League Pass. His brilliance, hidden. So when he started doing these things in the playoffs, fans thought he just got hot. But this wasn't new. It just hadn't been shown to the world yet. Haliburton doesn't fit the traditional superstar mold. He's not a 35-a-night scorer. He doesn't dominate the highlight reels. But he wins, he creates, he delivers. He led Indiana to the finals without a second All-Star, without a max co-star, without a top 10 defense. Just basketball IQ, calm under pressure, and clutch gene on another level. And yet he was still called overrated. When the dust settles on this postseason, the Pacers didn't win the title, but Haliburton won something else: respect. He put together one of the most clutch postseason runs in league history, and he did it while carrying the weight of every doubt, every disrespectful pull, and every national snub. He didn't scream for attention, he didn't demand respect. He earned it. With his game, with his poise, and with moments that fans will never forget. Overrated? That label didn't age well. Because when the pressure mounted, when legacies were on the line, Tyrese Haliburton didn't just show up. He became the moment. And now, the NBA has no choice but to listen.